Good morning, fellow Plexers. I want to try to help Derrick get to the bottom of his Synology NAS question for Plex. So let me start up DSM. Derrick mentioned having four 16 terabyte drives and a DS918, and he wants to add a DX517 expansion unit. So he doesn't sound like he knows a lot about his NAS, so I wanted to do this video. So Derrick, go to Storage Manager, and let's take a look, and then you can describe how you've got things set up. You'll see I've got DS1520 Plus and the DX517 expansion unit myself. All 5 bays are full on the main unit, and 4 of the 5 bays are filled on the second unit. You'll also see that I have 2 storage pools with 2 different volumes. Under normal RAID conditions, you can add the expansion unit as an expanded volume, or you can add it as a second volume. Your post mentioned JBOD, which would make each individual hard drive its own volume. But you also mentioned having use 77% of your storage space. So that doesn't really make sense, because you'd have a different storage usage on each individual drive if they were just a bunch of drives, JBOD. So maybe you're using that term right, maybe you're using it incorrectly, I'm not sure. But you can click into the volume for storage pool 1, and I just click storage pool 1 and I see my 2 volumes. If I go into the volume over here, I see my total capacity, and I see that I'm running under the BTRFS file system. If I go into the individual hard drives, I'll see all the different drives and where they're assigned to. These 4 are on the DX517, and these 5 are on the main NAS. So I need to know how many volumes you have currently and what you're running for RAID, if you are running RAID. So let's go to settings. All right, so I'm not a genius with everything Synology. Okay, so I just clicked this arrow for storage pool 1, and it's telling me I'm using SHR, which is a 1 drive fault tolerance. So let me know what's going on, and I think I already have a video on YouTube about adding a new volume. And the danger is of expanding a volume to the second, well, let's do it this way. The danger of expanding a single volume to the second expansion unit is if you accidentally unplug the expansion unit, or the cable accidentally comes undone between the two. So if you lose power, or the data cable comes unplugged, you ruin your whole volume. There's no recovery from it. Now, if I pop out 1 drive from this volume, it's not going to ruin the volume. If I pop out 2 drives, it will. And unplugging the cable or losing power on only one of the 2 devices accidentally is removing more than 1 drive, so it's gone. So if you set it up as its own volume, the only issue you have is if you have too many drives going bad on either one. And you can take a Plex library and point it at 2 different volumes at the same time. So if you do have everything in RAID under 1 volume, and you're running out of room, you can get your second unit set up as its own volume. And what you can do is you can take, say, your TV show library. You can copy all of that to a new location on the second volume, and then you can point Plex's TV show library at the second volume as an additional path, rescan that library. Plex will now find a duplicate of everything. Then you can delete it from its original location, go back into Plex, remove the path only from the original location, leaving the second path, rescan again, and Plex will then keep any existing custom metadata you've set up. You won't have to fix match anything again, and you'll relieve this of one full library. And maybe you'll just be leaving your movie library on this, and then you can just keep all your TV shows on the second one. And if you do have this set up as just a bunch of drives, put your new drives in the expansion unit, set it up as one volume with SHR Synology Hybrid RAID, copy all your media from the old one to the new one, and reset this up in a RAID configuration. You should not be using a Synology NAS with just a bunch of drives where each drive is its own volume. That must be maddening, and you've got no protection from data loss. If one drive goes bad, you lose everything on it. And that's not why we use Synology NASs in the first place. So I'm kind of rambling here, but at least look and tell me what you're using. Again, storage pool 1, click the arrow here, and let me know what it says right here. Thanks for watching. Happy Plexing.